من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبه نستعين. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. All praise due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank him, glorify him, send our salutations to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Dear respected brothers and sisters in faith, as we always do, our lesson today is going to be continuation of what we started in the previous week. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our lessons and our gathering. We are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us in everything that we talk about. In our previous discussion, we spoke about things that made having ghusl, which is basically spiritual bath, compulsory. And also I made mention that we have types of things that will make us have to have the ghusl. And one of these is, I said 4 things will make it compulsory, and 4 things will make it sunnah, and also 4 will make it mustahab. We're quickly going to rush through what we've discussed last week, and then we can add on today's lesson, inshallah. So we said regarding the things that makes our ghusl, or that makes it compulsory upon us to have ghusl, there are 4. And we made the abbreviation of jahanaku, which basically means the jim for janaba, the noon for the hain, the ha for haid, the noon for nifas, and also the kaf, we said kafir idha aslama. Now, those are the compulsory aspects of what makes ghusl becomes compulsory upon us. The next 4 are sunnah, which we call jami'u. The jim is for ghusl al-jum'ah, and then the alif is for ihram, and then the mim is for mayyit, which is the ghusl we give to the dead, and also the ain at the end is for idain or idan, which is the Eid al-Fitr and then Eid al-Adha. And then we have the other 4 that are called mustahab, which are encouraged but they are not compulsory or sunnah. One is which is adabasu. The ain is for Arafah, the day of Arafah. The dal is dukhul Makkah for those who are performing Hajj or Umrah. And then the ba is ba'da ghusl al-mayyit. After giving the dead a bath, you are encouraged to also have bath after that, or have ghusl after that. That is ba'da ghusl al-mayyit. And then the last letter there, which is the sin, is istihada. We spoke about istihada, which is after janaba, or no, after nifas or haid, when the days or the days that the blood is expected to stop has not stopped. At that moment we call that an istihada. It is considered as irq, which is a sickness. So a woman is encouraged to seek for medication while she prays, have a ghusl and pray. So those are the 12 types of things that will make us have ghusl. Having said that, the ghusl itself is the same. It's one type of ghusl, both for those that you do for the dead or those that are alive, janaba, haid, nifas, or all those, the ghusl is the same. The difference is the intention. And I made mention, some people have some funny approach. Someone becomes Muslim and they say we have to give you a bath. That is un-Islamic. There's nowhere in Islam that says you have to give someone a bath just because the person has become a Muslim. We will talk about the hayat, the way the bath is expected to be, and then after which we will look at other options. So if someone becomes a Muslim and does not know the ways in which we perform the ghusl, that does not mean that someone has to give the person a bath, but rather we teach them on other ways in which will be easy and simple for them to perform the ghusl. So we'll be looking at that inshallah as we go. Last week also we spoke about the compulsory aspect of the ghusl itself. So the ghusl itself, there is compulsory aspect of it and there's sunnah aspect of it. The compulsory aspect of it are mainly the water that we use to perform the ghusl. Intention is one of those, and also making sure water touches the whole entire body, and also at-tadliq, which is to scrub the body whilst we are having the ghusl. We're not forgetting what we call al-fawr. Fawr, it came in wudu as well, which means when we are performing, we should do it in systematic order and do it and get out of it. You don't just stand there singing, dancing, or whatever whilst you're washing some parts of the body before you finish the other parts are dry. So the idea here is, and also with all that, we need to understand that intention of what we are supposed to perform, whether it's janaba, nifas, haid, whatever, the intention is a key aspect of our deen, and for everything that we do, we need to start with the intention. Now, to talk about the sunnah, things that the sunnah of the ghusl, we're going to start from here. It said, Babu sunan al-ghusli. Al-ghuslu min masnunihi wudu inda shuru'i fihi wal-budu. كذاك قد نص على التخليل في الرأس لحية للحية يا خليل والبدء والبدء بالرأس أتى عن النبي في غسله ما بعد ذا من مطلبي. So regarding what are sunnah in terms of our ghusl, first of all, it has to the sunnah of the ghusl. The first part is the what we call al-wudu. So we need to perform wudu before the ghusl itself. Here there are different opinions of scholars regarding how the wudu are performed, which inshallah we'll talk a bit about it as we go. But the main part of it is, there are some scholars who said when you are in the state of janaba, before going into the bathroom, you can perform wudu outside, normal wudu that you do before going into the bathroom to perform the ghusl and the wudu. And these scholars, they have opinion by saying that type of wudu, nothing spoils it unless you have another janaba that will break it. So in this, that option has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. What we're talking about in terms of sunnah of ghusl itself is al-wudu. So we start, which we'll go back to that when we come to al-hayat. We'll look at how the ghusl needs to look like and how it's supposed to be performed. So the wudu we're talking about here is the one that we do at the beginning of the ghusl, before we start everything. وَالْبَدُءُ كَذَاكَ قَدْ نَصَّ عَلَى التَّخْلِيلِ. As part of the things that we talk about here regarding the sunnah, التخليل في رأسي للحية يا خليل. This one we have something that we call an addition that comes to complete our poem. But in this concept we're talking about, when it comes to the ghusl, you are to be able to rub and massage the hair, both your hair and also if you have beard. In this, if we go back to Ahdari, it spoke about the difference. We have al-lihyatul kathifa and hafifa. Kathifa, the thick beard that is really big. With that, in wudu, when you wash your face, you only wipe on it. But in the ghusl, you have to wash your face and go all underneath and make sure that water goes under the root of the beard. So this is what we mean here. When it comes to washing, we need to scrub every part of it where water needs to touch. وَالْبَدُءُ بِالرَّأْسِ. After intention, after making the wudu, the ghusl, the washing of the body itself, start min ra'asin, from the head. Ata an nabi, as it came from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in the way the Prophet ﷺ, he washed himself in ghusl. Ma ba'da dha min matlabi. Whatever comes after that is from what is expected to be done. So you wash from hair coming all the way to the neck, and then the whole of the body, depending on whether you divide the body into halves to wash the right bit and then wash the left bit, which inshallah we'll talk about all that inshallah. Now, Babu Hayhat al-Ghusl. So now how does the ghusl need to look like, or how does it need to start? Now, وَبِالْوُضُوءِ يَبْتَدِي الْمُغْتَسِلُ ثُمَّ أُصُولُ شَعْرِهِ يُخَلِّلُ وَبِالْوُضُوء. What is expected of a person who is going to perform ghusl is to start with wudu. In this wudu, we are expecting the person to wash one singles, not 2 or 3 as we do in normal wudu, except the hair. Everything in ghusl, when it comes to the wudu, is like a normal wudu. It's just that we wash it in singles, except the hair, which is washed 3 times. We will go to that inshallah. وَحَيْحَةُ الْغُسْلِ ابْتِدَاءَهَا هَكَذَا. That is how we start the ghusl. غَسْلُ الْيَدَيْنِ ثُمَّ تَنْظِيفُ الْأَذَى. We start with washing 2 hands, and then we wash off the filth or the najas that is on us, and that is to wash from the belly button all the way to the knee or over the knee. And this is very important. Even when we are washing the dead, that is how we do. We are not to expose the body of the dead person out. We put a cloth to cover the body, but that is how we start. We make sure that we wash from the belly button going down to clean the person first before the ghusl. And the same thing applies to us. If we are going to perform the ghusl, most importantly, we need to start washing our hands clean before we start from our belly button coming to our knee. Remember this concept. Everything we're speaking about when it comes to this tartib, what you need to be aware of is they are talking about those who have ghusl with the water in the bucket or a container. So we will look at the differences or things that you don't need to worry about as long as you are having ghusl directly under the shower, or you have a tap that is flowing. We'll be looking at that inshallah. Now, it said غسل اليدين ثم تنظيف الأذى ثم 3 غرفات يبديه في غسل رأسه أو رأس يصيبها عليها ثم يفيد الماء فوق ظهره ودلقه الجسم تمام طهره. Now, so the next part of it is basically after washing the najis, then the person will perform the wudu. And as I made mention, all of this wudu has to be in one, except when it comes to the hair, it has to be washed 3 times. So I'll quickly explain everything regarding wudu, ghusl. When we come to perform ghusl, this is what is expected of us. Number 1, if we are using a bucket with water filled in the bucket, the first thing we need to do is, at that moment, we are considered filthy. We are already dirty. So we don't need to dip our hands in the water before starting. We don't need to. So what we do is we tilt the bucket down to pour water in our right arms, and then we wash both hands. Now, when we consider both hands clean, if you are using bucket we're talking about here, then we put the bucket on our right side, which means that we make sure that the water is on our right side. Now we are going to dip our right hand in the bucket, get the water, and then start pouring whilst we are washing from our belly button, both front and back to the knee. That is how we wash the filth. And then from then, this left hand is the one that we're using to wash. So we then get some water to clean it. Then we start the wudu. Individually, we get water, we wash, we get water in our mouth, we rinse the mouth, we then go to the nose, sniff, and then blow it out. We wash the face. All these are singles. Okay? When it comes to the face, straight away from there, we wash the arm. This also, normally in wudu, we go all the way to the elbow. But in this instance, what we do, we wash all the way to the shoulder. Once, as we did with all the parts of the wudu, we wash this one, also the left, all the way to the shoulder. Now, it comes to the head. Remember, in wudu, the head is once. In ghusl, it's 3 times. What we do is we dip our hands in the water, wipe 2 hands, we wipe all the way and then come back. Remember, you are not pouring water, no. You just wipe the first one and then come back. Get another water this time around. Don't pour again, just a bit. Get it in and then massage the whole head. Now, it's not about going forward and backwards. It's just massaging the whole head. By doing this, you massage. The idea here is whenever a person is in a state of junub, it's considered every part of the body as it came in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Wherever there is hair in your body, that place is open. So whatever you're doing, you are making sure, first of all, wiping and washing, you are sealing all this before you pour water on it. Now the third time, you get water, then you pour on the head and then wash all over the head, but then you go over your face and your neck all over. Remember your ear. In wudu, we wipe it. In ghusl, we don't. We wash. You get water, tilt your head down, and then start with the right. Go in and out, both inside and out of your ear. Do the same on the left, both in and out of the ear. When you finish, now you can then start pouring water again on the head and then wash all over to the neck. This is now how others will do. From this part onwards, they will divide the body into 2. The right part will be washed all the way to the feet, and then the left part will be washed all the way to the feet. At this moment, the ghusl by itself is done. At this moment, the ghusl is done. The simple thing about this ghusl is, if you finish this, you can then get a sponge and soap and have your normal shower. Don't allow, if you want the wudu that you performed before the ghusl, as long as your hands, your palm, as we spoke, things that spoil wudu, we spoke about your hands touching your private part. As long as your hands did not touch your private part, the wudu you performed before ghusl is enough for you to pray after that. And for women also, if your fingers have not gone inside you, your wudu is okay for you to pray. Now, this is general. Let's go back now. We don't need a bucket. We have a shower. We have a tap running. We make the intention. We do the same thing. We wash from our belly button all the way to our knee. Remember, this time around, because we are not dipping our hands in the bucket, we did not worry washing the hands before. So you just get the water, start washing from your belly button all the way. This also, you follow the same tartib, make the wudu, everything, and then stand under the shower, wash from here, going all the way down. You are done. These 2 are what you call the combination of the wudu and the ghusl. But let's say, for instance, you don't want to have wudu. You make the intention of ghusl, just wash the belly button down, make the intention, get under the shower, start washing all part of the body. It's enough for you. Or, let's say you find yourself at the ocean or at the river. You are in the stage of ghusl. Or you just finished your janaba. You are on the way, you want to just have a ghusl and then you can start praying. Straight away, just make intention, dive into the ocean or in the river with the intention of ghusl, wash the whole body in there. That is also enough for you. The only difference is with this, you don't have wudu. So you still have to perform wudu before any action that you want to do. So I hope with this explanation, we get the whole idea. Intention differs, but the ghusl is the same for a Muslim or someone who is becoming a Muslim today. So for someone who is a new Muslim, you don't need to go through the tartib and give him hard time making wudu, not making wudu. You just advise the person to make intention of having a spiritual bath, which the person is to wash his old issues, whatever that happened before becoming a Muslim, and then make that intention and then go under the shower or whatever, wash the whole body without soap and sponge. One condition here is, if you are in a state of junub, you are advised not to eat before ghusl. If you have no choice but to eat, make sure that you make wudu before eating, if you are in the state of junub. Number 2, if you are in the state of junub and you also need to have a shower, make the junub ghusl first before getting your soap and sponge to wash the body. Just very important, those parts. We need to be mindful of that. That is where we're going to stop regarding the ghusl. Next week, inshallah, we're going to be looking at tayammum. But any question regarding this, for those of you online, feel free to type or unmute yourself to ask your questions. We're going straight to the 40 hadith. Sheikh Ibrahim is not here, so I will read that, inshallah. But you have any, from now onwards as we go, any question regarding the ghusl, feel free to send your question, inshallah.
وإتي بسر شيخ نفاسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله ومن آيات ثم كانوا بها حبابه سكنوا ملوكه ومن قتلوا أحبوا الشيخ الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله يزوركم على الذكرى يبث علومكم تسرى تعالكم فيرشد لأهل كنوب الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله ومعكم وحل بندكم أعيد لكم وعدكم ذكوركم إناثكم لأجل شيخ الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله في قصر الأمين إذا آتاكم بيتك يا ذا مضيفك بير وكذا سليلك بعد القتاسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله أتاكم والد جوسى مع العلماء وكساسى جمعكم بلا بأس أجابكم أبو سيسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله أتى قدما إلى كشنا لنحو أمير شمزانا ورحب كل من سكن بهذا الشيخ الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله ومما زارها أنشاء أفيض بها لكم أمشى ينادي الكل لا يخشى إلى الإسلام الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله فوض ولا كسنغالي وقنبي بعد حوالي كذاك كني بها آلي من أبنى الفيض في الناس ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله عيبكو سر لأغانا وتوقوا بنم بحكانا من الأحباب إخوانا ببارك رسول الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله فجمع الشيخ وحاجة أتاكوا الناس أفواجا لنيل رضاكم الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله جزاك الله يا عبد الملك جزاك وأجل وحتى أن تقول بجل حبيب الشيخ الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله لكل أولاد أبرار بدوا في الجو أقمارا وبدركم بدا جهرا سميع لجد الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله سميع لجد عبد الله خليفة ابن عبد الله أجيب شاكر والله حديمه وخالق الناس ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وأحمد بعدك رجل كريم عالم بطل حليم أمرك سحل سليل شيخ الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله يليه شيخ تجاني كثير جزيت يا ابن الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله سفير الشيخ بالسفر كذا النجب من الأمراء كذا الرؤساء والكبراء يوسطكم بالياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله إذا باجتك ضيفا شتاء صيفا ربيعا جئت أو خريفا تجده أكرم الناس ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله بقول خذرك الشتاء لما أبيت متى صادفت خطبت بكل حضارة النفس ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله شبيه الشيخ رابعهم نذير الناس قارئكم وبالآداب يتبعكم بشوش قبل إناس ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وخلف شيخنا كتبا وأعيا فهمها غربا فكيف بغيرها عجبا بهذا الشيخ الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وكتب الشيخ قد تغني لمستغن بحقتني فتوبى لبدر يعني التاسي هو لا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله بل إن أراضي الدنيا من السفلى إلى العليا يجول لها بلا سنيا يريد الله الياسي هو لا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله أتاكم فيض الياسي بهذا السماوات ما تتشرق الناس يوسوس مفسد الأقوام ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله سلام الله يا سندي سلام الله بسندي سلام البارئ الأحد عليه بركة الأقوام ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله الياسي أنت مامولي ومشروبي ومقولي ومحسوسي وممدوحي وفي قلبي لكم مسوى ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وها أنا خادم الباب يعنوب وأنكم أحبابي بتسليم وترحاب جناب الموقف الأقوى ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله سألتك ربي توفيقا يقينا ثم تصديقا فزدني يا ربي تشويقا إلى الممدوح كي أرضى ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وزد فيضة الياس الله راضي الناس بجاش لقتل عباسي ممد جميع ما تكوى ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وفي موريتانيا ليبيا كذا مصر وتونسيا نيجر كذا نيجيريا سحاب الشغيل ياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله فجيبي بلاد كمروني تشادي كذاك كابوني بلاد العلم سوداني وفيقا فيض الياسي ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله صلى الله مولانا على المختار مرجعنا صفيه اللاش من جانا لربه الشاكي والبلوى ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله وآلي ثم أصحابي وأشياخي وأحبابي بمصر كانوا أوغابي وما قدم كل مسوى ولا